a little different than usual, but it won't really have an impact on our conference call and webinar quote. I'm actually going to do double duty tonight. In addition to doing our normal webinar and conference call, I'm broadcasting live on Facebook simultaneously. So I'll be talking to our audience nationwide via our webinar and conference call system, at the same time talking to our audience nationwide via our Facebook as well. So now is an ideal time. We have about another 90 seconds of introductions. Just give us your name and area you're calling from.
Alicia Sanders, Charlotte, North Carolina.
North Carolina, Alicia, welcome.
Thank you.
Smiley, California, welcome.
DC, this is Dexter Salad of San Antonio, Texas. Now in Atlanta.
Outstanding. You get around, Dex. Welcome.
Don Ray, Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona in the house. Welcome. Mississippi in the house. There was a young lady introducing herself.
Al Parker, Atlanta, Georgia.
Mr. Parker, Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome.
Mary from Baltimore, Maryland.
Mary and Baltimore, Maryland, both in the house. Welcome.
Today, I did Wallet from Indiana.
Indiana in the house. Welcome.
Lacey from Austin, Texas.
Lacey, welcome. We have about another 30 seconds. Phoenix, Arizona in the house. Another 30 seconds of introductions, and then I'll go ahead and get it started. 15 more seconds.
Rosie Sanders, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina, outstanding. Welcome. All right, so give me a second. I'm going to mute the line out.
Everyone else is now muted.
All right, all right. So I got the line muted out on our conference call webinar system to guarantee our quality assurance for that system. And welcome to all our folks that are joining us via Facebook Live. This is the national webinar that we do every night here on MyEcon at 9 p.m. Eastern Central Time. So I want to take this time to welcome you. So it's my duty, my plum pleasing pleasure actually, to share our information with you about this phenomenal company that we come to know dearly as MyEcon. But to give you a little background on the company, the name MyEcon is short for My Economy. Now the reason we named the company My Economy is because all of us, all of you, have an economy. The same way that President Trump is the CEO of the U.S. economy, the city you live in has someone in charge of its economy. Well, you're the CEO of your economy. So you're totally responsible for the success or failure of your economy. Now in MyEcon, we talk about success. So we want to make sure that you have all the knowledge and tools you need to ensure the success of the finances of your economy. Now many of us joining us out there on Facebook, you saw the title, What's Your Exit Strategy? And for our guest on our webinar, I want you to think of that as well. What's your exit strategy? How will you combat or counter the impact of inflation, high taxes, debt, inadequate investing and savings, the impact of those on valuable cash flow needed to be able to retire? So I want you to keep that in mind as we go through. Now, we're the Personal Financial Success Company. Now, having said that, we've empowered over 70,000 individuals and families nationwide with the knowledge, tools, and support they need to improve their personal finances. Now, the company itself, we're a 13-year-old debt-free, technology-driven company based in Atlanta, Georgia. And to date, we've empowered our associates to increase their cash flow in excess of $400 million. See, it wouldn't do you any good to be a cheerleader for a company that did $1.5 billion, $2.5 billion. It's insignificant because none of the company's monies go to pay your bill. put your children in a school that you want to put them in, put the type of food on the table that you want to eat. But no, instead, these tools have empowered them to put $400 of their cash flow into their pockets. And the way our company is growing and the way this is catching nationwide, we anticipate to empower our associates to put another $100 million of cash flow in the next 12 months. Let's talk a little bit about our company's mission, which is very simple but powerful, and that's to empower the masses with the knowledge and tools they need specific to finance and money to obtain personal financial success. Now, that's a lot of rah-rah unless you have a working definition for personal financial success. Simple. Most people in America have two major financial objectives. One, to earn enough money now during your working years to be able to support your family, provide the lifestyle that you desire or you become accustomed to. Now, we typically do that by providing our knowledge, our skills, our hours, using them on a job or a business or a combination of both to earn income. So during our working years, that income is earned from labor and skills that we put forth. But the second objective is to be able to continue to take care of your family, maintain your lifestyle at the same level or better when you're retired. Now in MyEcon, we're talking about retire. We're not talking about career change. See, I have some friends that had very illustrious careers both in corporate America and in the military. My friends in the military, after 20 years, they retired from the military. Well, unfortunately, the check that was coming in from the military after those 20 plus years wasn't enough that it would take care of their lifestyle. So they had to have a career change. Unfortunately, millions of Americans intend to retire, but they only face a career change. Why? Because the second objective of having enough cash flow coming in during the retirement years is centered around having assets bring the dollars in without you working. See, financial independence means the income comes in independent of you having to work. So we're going to talk about why is it that 96% of the working force, they make $30,000 a year, $250,000 a year, white collar, blue collar, male, female, young, old, fail to reach that second objective. And those obstacles are some of the reasons why. Now, it's definitely not the U.S. economy. See, let me give you an idea of the playing field. And there's always two sides to any coin. So first, you look at the wealthy side of America. The big picture. It's the wealthiest country in the world, bar none. There's about $100 trillion of wealth in America, and that counts for about 25% of all the world's wealth. So the masses not being able to retire and have all the cash flow that they want is not because America's not doing well. It's doing phenomenal. It's the home of hundreds of billionaires and over 7 million millionaires right here in America. So again, why is 96% not reaching that second objective of actually being able to retire? And guess what? It's no secret. You know them. Look at the people around you that have been working 20 plus years. They have a variety of education, a variety of backgrounds, single, married, the whole thing. 96% of them fail to reach that objective. They're educated, doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, architects, highly educated, but they're missing some specifics about finance and money. Here's the result of that. 80% of Americans feel they're struggling, falling behind financially, and they don't know why. I'm going to give you 4 reasons why in a second. They say 68 million Americans have less than ideal credit. Some will say poor credit. But another 75 million, if you count them all, have less than 699 points of credit. 69% have less than $1,000 in the bank in the wealthiest country in the world. That means if their water pump went, transmission problem, they couldn't absorb a $500 cash emergency with their vehicle in the wealthiest country in the world. Again, only 4% of the working force, 4% of the working class, across the income levels, across the education levels, reach that second objective of having enough assets. What type of assets I'm talking about? Stocks, bonds, annuities, retirement accounts, 401ks, 403bs, TSPs, real estate portfolios, businesses, whether it be a fleet of food trucks, a fleet of mobile car washes, businesses that run without you, where you don't have to open the door in the morning and close the door in the evening. See, when you don't have to provide a good services or your time and still have enough income coming in. So we're going to talk about how you get that done, and more importantly, what are the obstacles that millions of Americans go against every single day, every single week. These obstacles are the reason so many people struggle in the wealthiest country in the world. Now, once you know what the reasons are, then all you have to do is put a strategy in place to combat those. Now, the first is inflation. Inflation is how we measure the cost of living. And it's very simple how to counter these things. But why is it important? Inflation grows at 3 to 4% a year. So if your pay doesn't go up 3 to 4% a year, that means you're using more of the same pay just to live. Let me explain a little further. You made $50,000 a year in 2017. You now make $50,000 a year in 2018. Well, you pay more for gasoline, right? You pay more for groceries, right? You pay more for the cost of living, right? Well, that means more of your $50,000 now has to go to lifestyle, cost of living, and that's less cash flow you have going into your retirement account. So you have to remember, millions of Americans are taught since they're little, the strategy for them to get to the end of the road, meaning retirement, is to go to school, get a good education, use that education to get a job. While you're working that job, put money away in your retirement account, and that's going to take care of you down the road. Well, unfortunately, millions haven't learned how that works. So they don't understand the importance of making sure, even though their job did not give them a pay raise, you as the CEO of your economy, it's your responsibility to make sure your household income goes up at least by 5%, CEO. Now, that's the first obstacle. The second, if you're a W-2 employee, you feel this every single time you get paid. Taxes take a third of your income. See, how does that affect that person that makes $50,000 a year? See, when you get that contract that says you make $50,000 a year, what happens? You start planning your lifestyle based on that $50,000. What area of the country you're going to live in, or area of the city you're going to live in, what car you're going to drive, what type of recreation you're going to have, what type of clothes you buy, your happy hours, the restaurants you eat at. Well, guess what? You didn't take in consideration taxes. Because taxes, they're going to take a third of it. Your lifestyle, you only have $35,000 of cash to spend. So what happens, because taxes take up so much of that cash flow, it creates that third obstacle called debt. Because now millions of Americans have to borrow to keep up that $50,000 lifestyle. So now even more of their cash flow is taken away because of the money has to service that debt, i.e. interest payments. So inflation is taking your money. Taxes is taking a third of it. And then you have debt, interest payments taking a big chunk of it, because that's how you made up the gap from taxes taking your money. Now, the biggest problem is because of that, there's not enough cash flow for your 401k, your 403b, your TSP to grow large enough to take care of you. And the only reason the millions of masses don't know this is because they weren't taught. See, if you ask the typical person to the dollar how much do they need in their retirement account so they can retire, they don't know. If you can ask them how much is it growing by each year, they don't know. They may know how much they're putting in. But let me give you an example why cash flow is so important. See, if a person put $1,000 a month away at 20%, for 20 years at 8%, it'd be $589,000. Well, that sounds like a lot. If a person needed $5,000 a month to live off of during retirement, that's $60,000 a year, they need $750,000 in their retirement account. But the masses don't know either one of those numbers. So they don't know that after 10, 20 years, they're not going to make it. So we're bringing this information to light and we say, we're going to help you solve this problem. More cash flow and better financial strategies will help solve this problem. But here's the catch. It's a challenge for millions of Americans to get more cash flow. See, think about it. What would an extra $500 do? An extra $5,000 a month do to your lifestyle, your financial strategy? Some it will allow them to live in their dream home, drive the car they want to drive, put their children in the schools that they want to put them into, provide the lifestyle they've always desired. But they're not going to get that $5,000 a month extra working overtime, working a second job. See, so they have to position themselves differently in order to get those results. And I'll talk about that in a second. Next, better financial strategies. See, cash flow isn't enough. We know actors, entertainers, lottery winners that had millions of dollars. Now they broke. So cash flow wasn't enough. It's what do you do with that cash flow? What strategies do you use to turn that cash into assets that bring you more cash? Enough cash to give you your time back. See, all retirement is getting your time back. See, during our working years, we had to give up 40, 50, 60 hours a week to earn enough money to take care of our families and provide the lifestyle we desire. But financial independence is also about time freedom, getting your time back, getting your 40 to 60 hours back. So you have to build something that gives it back to you. So you need more cash flow, better financial strategies. Now, we address that with our income shifting membership. So we have a membership that a person gets for $27.95. It's no sticker shock, $27.95. But what does that do? That's going to get you more cash flow and better financial strategy. And it starts with our membership because it has 5 strategies that are designed specifically to put more cash flow into your household. Now, also, because our system, it's an online system, it focuses on financial literacy and entrepreneurship. And this system is delivered through a web-based business. So that now makes you a business owner. Now, why is that so important? See, here's what the masses don't understand. Think of it like this. You have a son or a nephew that you're taking to a football game. You get to this field, he jumps out, runs on the field, and you notice when he gets on the field, he is the only one in the basketball uniform. How is he going to compete? Totally ill-equipped and unprepared to compete. Second thing is he is absolutely going to get hurt. The first time he tackles someone or someone tackles him, he's going to be hurt. Well, that's the same thing that happens to the masses in America. See, the masses have jobs, and we're not job bashing, but America is a capitalistic country built on a free enterprise system. So unless you are an entrepreneur, you can't effectively access the free enterprise system. See, you, as an employee, you can't freely give yourself a 10% pay raise. As an employee, you can't freely lower your taxes. But in the free enterprise system as an entrepreneur, you can raise your prices. You can raise your fees to outpace inflation. As an entrepreneur, you have access to 470 plus tax deductions that as an employee you did not and do not have. Our associates with their web-based businesses have access to 400 plus deductions that they didn't have before they got their online business. Now I'll tell you why that's so important. So let's go to these strategies. There are 5. First, correct your tax withholdings. Second, building better credit. Third is minimizing taxes. Fourth is debt elimination. And fifth is investment education. So if we took a look at each of them individually, this first one's the fun one. Everybody can do this one. See, the IRS says 100 million employees, that's 80% of the workforce, have too much money taken out of their paychecks. Now, here's how you determine if you're one of those 100 million. Do you know, line by line, letters A through H, how you filled out your W-4? If you don't know, line by line, what your answers are from letters A through H that you filled out on that W-4, then chances are you're part of that 100 million. If you didn't look at or fill out the adjustments and allowance worksheet, which is the second worksheet, chances are you're part of the 100 million that's sending too much money to the IRS every single pay period. Now, your dollars have value. You need that cash flow to put into your retirement account. So what we say is, listen, it's imperative that you understand that if you're overpaying every paycheck, you're losing money. When you send the money to the IRS, that extra money, they invest it. They make money on it. Now, I wish this was a live audience, and I say raise your hand if you got interest when you got your tax refund back. They give you your refund back with interest. So you understand the refund is not some magic money. It's a refund. They're refunding you the dollars that you overpaid. Those dollars, you didn't get any of the interest that they made, so you lost that money. Because you sent it to the IRS, it didn't go in your 401k. So you lost the earning potential. Your money didn't compound for you. It didn't make babies for you month after month after month. So, of course, 20 years down the road is not enough there. Think about this. Think about a family getting a $5,000 tax refund every year for 20 years. And then you know what the majority of people do with that $5,000 when they get that tax refund? They blow it. So that's $5,000 for 20 years. That's $100,000 that's not in your investment account, in your 401k. More importantly, that's $100,000 that didn't gain interest over 20 years. If we had been taught that in high school, we would do better, but we didn't know. But it's never too late. IRS and MyEcon says, learn to maximize your take-home pay. Align with MyEcon so we can help you adjust your W-4 properly, your allowance worksheet, your adjustments worksheet. What it has already done to our associates, they paid $27.95 and started their business with us. When we shifted those dollars back because this cash flow strategy, it put $200 to $500 back in your paycheck. So if you're listening to the webinar or your Facebook Live, will you spend $27.95 to $200 to $500 back in your paycheck? Even if I went no further, that's a simple solution. Either you want your $200 to $500 back, or you don't. Will you invest $27.95 in yourself to get $200 to $500 back? Now that's just the first cash flow strategy. The second one deals with building better credit with our smart credit system. Here's why credit is so important. Whether you're poor, middle class, or wealthy, you want to use OPM. You want to leverage OPM. OPM is other people's money. But the kicker is you want to do it at the lowest borrowing cost. So the lower the interest rate, the lower your borrowing cost. The higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate. So we empower people with the knowledge and tools they need to repair, build, and maintain 750 plus credit. Now, there are millions of people out there that have already allowed or that are allowing people to repair their credit for them. Stop, because you're only addressing part of the score. Let me explain this to you and put this to bed. Listen, your credit score is broken up into 5 pieces like a pie. Now, granted, the largest piece of that pie is worth 35%. That 35% represents your payment history, what's listed on your credit report. So, many people, millions of Americans, have derogatory information on that credit report. If you got everything off that was derogatory, erroneous, and you got the entire 35% back, that's still only 35% of your credit score. You want to be able to address 100%. So, even if they did a good job, efficiently and timely, what they're not, you still got 65% that you know nothing about because they're not teaching you that. And this is how they're handling the 35%. See, I want you to think about this. If you had pulled your credit report and noticed there were 10 items there that are derogatory, right? They know that too. But wait 2 later, 2 the following month, 2 the following month, game over. Well, you're not going to stretch it out like that and waste your time and money. You want results now. So what do? You dispute all 10. See, what the masses don't know is that they can dispute all of those items at the same time. You don't have to wait. So what do? We give you a 10-module, 26-video system that will allow you to fix your credit, learn A to Z how it works. Now you can get 750 plus credit yourself. More importantly than that, now you can teach your kids. Now you can teach your grandchildren, your nephews, your nieces, your sorority sisters, your fraternity brothers. You can teach any and everybody that needs to know this information because you have it. Once you have it, you have it. Now, again, when you lower your interest rates, you save interest payments. You keep those dollars in your check. Keep those dollars in your financial strategy or budget. Now, let's go to this third cash flow stream, which is minimizing taxes. See, so it's very important to understand the significance of minimizing your taxes. See, if taxes is taking a third of your income, if you minimize the impact of taxes on your paycheck, you can keep more of those dollars. Now, I already showed you that business owners have access to more deductions than employees. See, there's some erroneous information out there, inaccurate. They say, well, this Trump tax law was based to benefit his rich cronies. Well, yes, that's true from the perspective that the rich are benefited by his tax laws, but it's because the tax laws benefit those that have versus have-nots. Not have dollars, no, have businesses. See, business owners get to write off their car and their truck. If you're a guest on the line or you're watching on Facebook, when you get in your vehicle tomorrow, you start it up and you drive, if you do not have a business, you lost money because none of your mileage is now tax deductible. All of 2018, if you did not have a business, you driving a Benz, a Beamer, or a Hoopty, you lost money if you didn't have a business. It has nothing to do with your race, your education level. It has to do with you do not have a business, even a web-based business. So we're going to put you in position with this same $27.95 investment in you. Not only do you ship your dollars via your W-4, not only do you get our credit system, but we also show you step-by-step how to properly apply these deductions. We give you the software called the Cash Flow Manager. The Cash Flow Manager, you download it on your smartphone, access it via your tablet or your computer. So not only do you get to write off your car and truck expenses, but your communication expenses. So if you're on Facebook via your cell phone or on the webinar via Wi-Fi at home, you're paying those bills anyway. But the longer you go without having a business, you're losing the ability to write half of it off as a deduction. Guess what? All the travel you did in 2018, if you didn't have a business, or if you had a business and you were more excited about the tea and the lotions and the potions than excited about being a business owner and know how to operate as a business owner, you didn't write any of that off. See, my colleagues and I, all of our travel was tax deductible. My travel to Europe, my travel to Pennsylvania, my travel to Texas, all of my travel was tax deductible. Because when you're a business owner, you don't take vacations, you take business trips. Planes, trains, automobiles, hotel, meals, all tax deductible. Now, if you're a parent, you're about to buy your children, you haven't done already, a whole bunch of Christmas gifts. Well, my colleagues, their children bought their own Christmas gifts. All right, let me change it a different way. My colleagues paid their children up to $12,000 a year for helping in the business. Because the IRS says if you're a business owner, you can pay wages. But if you're a parent and a business owner, you can pay your children wages for helping you in the business. And they can earn up to $12,000 a year because that's the standard deduction for someone single. They pay no taxes on it, and you as the business owner get 100% tax deduction. Now, it's okay that you've never heard of that before. It's okay that you don't quite know how it works. But now, you now know it's possible. So all you have to do is invest $27.95 in yourself with us, and we're going to show you how to implement that. Now, some people might say, well, if I have a business, I could do it. Sure, but you have to know how to do it. See, one thing to know, but it's more important to know how to execute. See, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is. So just so you know that you can pay your children wages and do all that, until you know how you can execute, it means nothing. The combination of these three cash flow strategies typically puts an extra $200, like I said, to $500 back into our associates' paychecks, but also saves them thousands a year on taxes. Now, just by sharing this information alone, you're going to earn some business income as well, because other people are going to want to get this same membership. So now our fourth cash flow stream centers around using this cash flow to pay your debt off fast. See, here's why debt becomes a cash flow stream. You have a $200 a month car note. Well, as soon as you pay the car off, that's $200 more back into your strategy, back into your pocket. In fact, the faster you pay it off, the less your car costs you. So we say, use our debt elimination software, which also comes in that system. It helps you prioritize those debts so they can get them off faster. You can pay that debt off faster. So use this extra cash flow, rapidly eliminate the debt. Now, we know people don't know how to do that. We weren't trained how to do that. You weren't taught debt elimination when you got your architecture degree, your engineering degree. You graduated from the police academy. You got your law degree, your med degree. We're highly educated and skilled, but that's not the problem. The problem, we know very little about the specifics of finance and money and how they work. See, if you're in America, in the wealthiest country in the world, and you don't have your sights set on getting stone cold wealthy, getting rich, minimum becoming financially independent, you're settling. You're selling yourself short. This is the land of opportunity. And now you add in online and digital marketing, which our system and our leaders have mastered training and teaching people on. The opportunity is limitless. See, we're not talking about a deal that's just going to make you an extra $200 a month, a hobby. No, we're talking $15,000 a week, $100,000 a month because of how you build this business. See, now that you got rid of debt, now you have to talk about what do you do with all this money? Cash, asset, cash. Most people are only taught by watching consumerism. So they turn their cash into trash, and now that's wealth. They turn their cash into bins, and now people who see them that don't understand finance and money go, wow. But people who understand finance and money only impressed if your asset paid for that car, if your assets pay for the mortgages, if your assets give you the cash for your vacations. So we have an investment program that starts talking about terminology. What's a stock? What's a bond? What's an annuity? How do they work? What's compound interest? Is it good? Is it bad? What's dollar cost averaging? Oh, by the way, how do you set up an investment account? Why is that important? There are millions of Americans that are told they have to go to school, get a job, invest in their retirement account, and they're going to be okay. Well, there are millions of Americans that have jobs that don't have retirement accounts. What are you teaching them? What are they to do? What have they been taught? What have they been doing? Are they supposed to say, well, I'm just supposed to work the rest of my life because we don't have a retirement account? No. So we teach them how to do that. Now you have more strategy. You understand how to evaluate and measure the return on your investments. You got $3,000. You invest in the stock market. You got a 20% return. Woo, that was pretty good. That's $600 profit. But you might also say, well, what if I took that $3,000 and bought a mobile car wash van? Lease it out for $1,000 a month. Well, first 3 months, I got my $3,000 back. And then the pursuing 9 months, you made $1,000 profit each month. Now you got $9,000 profit on that same $3,000. But you have to learn about finance and money to even be positioned to make those type of analyzations and decisions. Now, in addition, when you start learning more about finance and money, you understand the importance of earning a piece of America. See, think about it. It only makes sense before you buy your son or daughter some Nike Air Jordans, you buy them a share of Nike stock first. So now when they're wearing those sneakers, that just makes them some money. In fact, when all their friends are wearing those sneakers, their friends' family are making your child money. So you got to learn the importance of owning a part of America. And it's some things we just don't think about, we take for granted. Like many of you have money in the bank. You feel your money is safe in the bank. Well, if you feel your money is safe in the bank, it might be safe if you own a share of stock in that bank too. See, so you have to think differently. Now, how do we build this business? How do we build you a business that makes you six figures? See, anybody can help you make a couple $100. You can sell water on the corner here in Miami and make a couple $100 a month. You can make a couple $100 a week. But as soon as you stop selling that water, the money's gone. How do you build you a six-figure income when you're not working? You build it the same way Walmart built its empire. You focus on distribution. You focus on getting outlets. So we focus on empowering people with our membership so they get the knowledge and tools that they need to be successful financially. Now, Walmart, every time they expand a location, they open up another location that consumers can now have access to all of their products. See, the CEO of Walmart wasn't going around all excited about groceries, jumping on down talking about jewelry's going to save the world, this baby food's going to save the world. No. An outlet, more per people can buy his products and services. So our associates the same way. All of our associates have a website that have all our company's products listed on them. And every time we provide another membership, that's another outlet. See, Walmart dominates because they have more outlets out there than anyone else. There's nothing special about their jeans, nothing special about their groceries, nothing special about their baby food. They just have more locations selling it. So we have our associates that have more locations than anybody else that can go and get a credit system for $99, can go to get ID theft protection at $7.99, to go to get a tax record keeping software that they can download on their cell phone, upload on their computer or their tablet for just $10.95 a month. You know any realtors? You know any personal trainers? You know any insurance agents? Any other network marketers? You cannot be a business owner, small business or other, and not keep good records and expect to be successful in business long term, not even short term. So we have all these products and services listed. Let me tell you some more about them real quick. Travel. See, no one's calling our associates talking about what the flights look like in Chicago. No. Our associates make money while they sleep because people go to our sites at 1 o'clock in the morning and book their tickets, just like they go online any other time, to book their cruises, and we make money on that. We have road assistants. People have Geico, Progressive, USAA, road assistant, AAA, we got the same thing. Billion-dollar industry. We got them all. See, you have to decide in America, are you going to be at the table or are you going to be on the menu? See, you got to be an entrepreneur to be at the table. See, our associates were excited about Cyber Monday. Not because we were buying online at discounts. No, because millions of Americans had access to our malls that they could buy online. See, all our associates have a mall. It has 1,000 stores that we have contracts with. Macy's, Walmart, Best Buy, BrandsMart, Toys R Us, Vistaprint, Staples, Home Depot. With a million products they have access to. Now, those companies contract with us because they know we can get them customers to their websites. And what they decide is, okay, if your customers come to our websites, because they supported our business, they're going to get cash back. And because they spent money with those businesses, the business is going to pay us commission. So our customers get discounts and cash back, and we get commission. It's a win-win. The bottom line is he or she with the most outlets wins. Waffle House sells more steaks than any other company in America, and it doesn't matter if you like their steaks or not. They have more locations on these small back roads over 24 hours a day that people go get steak and eggs. So our associates follow that same principle. Now, it just so happens that we have the fastest pay system and promotion system industry, bar none. Now, once a person spends their $27.95 to get started in business, they invest in themselves, $27. No big deal. Their first 2 sales, in other words, once they help their first 2 people get empowered, they got $8 commission for each of those. But in addition to that, for the rest of those 2 individuals' careers in MyEcon, the company's going to give them 25% income match. Think about this. Think about you referred 2 people to the company that you work for and they got hired. And now the company says, every time we give them a paycheck, we're going to give you 25% of their paycheck. Can you imagine? You refer 2 people to the company and every payday, not only do you get your paycheck, but you get 25% of what they got paid. Well, that's what MyEcon does. They earn $1,000, company's going to pay you $250. They make $5,000, company's going to pay you $1,250. But now you promoted. You now have a 100% commission contract. So now as executive vice president, every time you share a membership at $27.95, the company's going to give you $28. Every time you do that. You do that 10 times a week, you done made $2,800, $280 a week, just like that. That's you, but guess what? As those individuals share the information, you earn up to $20 on what they do. You hear what I said? Not only do you now make money off what you do, you make money off the efforts of what your team does. Now, some people have this misconception about recruiting. Oh my God, it's one of those things you got to recruit. One, you don't have to. See, once we shift those dollars in your paycheck, you pay your debt down, you invest in your 401k, use that cash to buy some assets, you can get free. That's the long game. You absolutely can do that, but that's the long game. But I want to shift your mentality a little bit when it comes to recruiting. And this is easy. If you just opened up a state-of-the-art gymnasium, it's going to have everything. Yoga classes, Pilates, Zumba, CrossFit, personal training sessions, the best of the best. You know, all the stars want to come to your gym. You're going to run that gym by yourself? You're going to teach all the classes? You're going to train all the people? No. You're going to recruit you some trainers. You're going to recruit you some yoga instructors, some Pilates instructors. So if recruiting is not bad for staffing your gym, you open up a real estate practice. You're a real estate broker. You're not going to sell all the commercial and residential property yourself. You're going to recruit as many realtors as you possibly can. So if recruiting isn't bad to staff your real estate agency, you open up a car dealership. You have the best fleet of cars out there. You're going to sell them all yourself? No. You're going to recruit some salespeople to help you. So if in all those scenarios it makes sense to recruit to compound and grow your income, let your income grow exponentially, it only makes sense to recruit in business to compound and exponentially grow your income. Mark Zuckerberg got to billions of dollars of wealth so fast because he has 13,000 employees that he recruited to help him make his money. So shift your mentality from recruiting being a bad thing to recruiting being something you should do and do very well, and we can teach you how and help you do that. Now, all you have to do is say, okay, one, you make money up front, but the walkaway money, that's the residual. That's the money that allows you to do very well and not have to work anymore. See, every time someone renews their membership, we pay commission on those renewals. You can earn up to $8 a month residual income on every active membership. Now here I want you to understand this. Some people who don't understand business and don't understand distribution and volume, they might say something like, well, how can you make that type of money on a product that costs so little, on a $27.95 business or a $34.95 a month renewal? It's because of volume and distribution. I'm giving the example of one company and then I'm going to finish up. There's a small company out there that their entry-level subscription is $7.99. Their premium package is $16.99. So because their price point is so low, not only do more people have access to it, but more people take advantage of it. See, we have over 70,000 people in business with us. And over the past few months, it's been over 10,000 people that's come on board because our price point is palatable. It's a low price point. But now, that's the price point. This particular company has over 50 plus million subscribers here in the United States, 100 million worldwide. This small company with this small price point product does over $150 billion with a B in revenue every year. So now I asked you, can a company do well with a small price point? So with $27.95 and 100 million people out there that want more money, need more money, we can do phenomenal. And oh, by the way, that little company I'm talking about is Netflix. Now, to envision yourself building your way to success, all you have to say is, out of 100 million people out there that have their W-4 filled out incorrectly, have too much money coming out of their check, out of 68 million out there that have less than ideal credit, out of millions that have losing a third of their income every pay period, do you believe that you can share this with enough people that 3 people will take advantage of it? See, 3 is the key with building this. Because if you can see yourself helping 3 people, then it only makes sense that they can help 3. Now you got 9 more on your team. Those 9 can also help 3 out of that 100 million people. So now you got 27 more on your team. Those 27 can absolutely do the same thing all over the country. That's another 81 on your team, and so on and so on. See, what happens as your team starts growing by 25 new memberships a week? That's 25 people a week out of 100 million that say, yes, I want to put $200 to $500 back in my paycheck. Yes, I want to keep more of my tax dollars. Yes, I want to learn how to build, repair, build, and maintain 750 plus credit. Yes, I want to get debt free. Well, that'll pay you an extra $500 a week. What would $2,000 a month do to your financial strategy? No, that's an extra, that now would have 1,250 people on your team after that 12-month period. Now remember, I said you earn $8 a month residual income off each of those memberships. So $8 a month residual income off 1,250 memberships, that's $10,000 a month. Well, there's a little humble pie. Someone can do in 12 months what people that spent tens of thousands of dollars on bachelor's degrees and master's degrees are not making right now. That's because when you enter the free enterprise system as an entrepreneur, you now can get as much of that $100 trillion as you want. See what happens as your business starts growing to 100 people, 100 new memberships a week. Well, that's $2,000 a week. What would $8,000 a month do for your strategy? Well, at the end of that 12-month period, that's 5,000 people on your team. At $8 a month, that's $40,000 a month. There's a very small percentage of Americans that make that on the job. Not job bashing. That's just saying. You can leverage your own hours, Or you can leverage the hours, talent, leadership of 5,000. Zuckerberg did 13,000. So surely out of 100 million, you get 1,000. What happens if it starts growing at 250 new memberships a week? Out of 100 million people that want more money, need more money. Well, now guess what? That's 5,000 a week. We have individuals, we have leaders right now that are making in excess of $15,000 a week with this $27.95 business. So we're not talking about something that we think can be done. It's already going on. That's 1,250 people on your team at $8 a month residual income. That's $100,000 a month. We already have people in MyEcon making $100,000 a month. So the person that invited you on the webinar didn't invite you because they needed you. They invited you because they thought this information could be a blessing to you. There might be some knowledge, some tools that you felt that would empower you to improve upon your personal financial situation. That's not to say that your financial situation is bad. I have business partners, people that are in business with me that make 6 figures on their job. They just want the 6 figures to keep coming in when they don't have the job. And they know people that are 10 years their senior, that's not their reality. So if they continue doing what they've been doing for the next 10 years, they'll be in the same situation as their colleagues with not enough to be able to stop. So we're able to change that. Now, people are still going to be buying from your website. You're going to get 60% commission on those sales. People are still going to be buying on your team's website. You're going to get 20% commission sales on that. J. Paul Getty said, when he was the wealthiest person in the world, that he'd rather earn 1% off 100 people's efforts than 100% of his own. See, think about it. If you stop working today, regardless of the type of neighborhood you live in, regardless of how much respect they give you on your job, the car you drive, the clothes you wear, regardless of any of that, how much income is going to continue to come in the next year if you didn't do nothing? You got to solve that problem because someday you're going to do nothing. Voluntarily or involuntarily, you're going to do nothing. And you want to have enough cash flow coming in to provide you with the lifestyle you desire or become accustomed to without you having to work. Now, if you found value in any of the things that I talked about, value in putting an extra $200 to $500 back in your paycheck, value at getting the knowledge and tools to repair, build, and maintain 750 plus credit, value at turning expenses that you already have into tax-deductible expenses, saving you thousands of dollars in taxes every single year. If you found value in getting debt-free as fast as you can, if you found value in learning how to turn your cash into assets that bring you more cash, then all you need to do is get with the person that invited you onto this webinar or might have shared this Facebook Live with you. They're going to take you to their website. You're going to enroll for $27.95. You're going to get our income shifting membership and our world-class business system. Now, immediately we're going to help you adjust your W-4, so starting your next pay, more dollars get shifted back in your pay system. You automatically, we download the information as soon as you get your website, so you immediately have access to our 26 videos to start learning step-by-step how to repair, build, and maintain 750 credit yourself. Don't let people take advantage of you anymore. Take care of the problem yourself. Be proactive with your kids. Now, you're going to get our cash flow manager software, and the first entry we're going to put in there is the $27.95 you paid to start your business. We have video supporting everything you need. We have live support for everything you need. You're going to get our debt elimination software. Then you're also going to get our investment education system. There's already hours of archived training on stocks, bonds, how you set up an investment account, what's a real asset, how compound interest works. All of that's already in place. You just need to invest in yourself and get access to it. $27.95. Just think of the difference. Many of you paid tens of thousands of dollars and gave up 4+ years of your life and then monetized the information you get. You spend $27.95 tonight and you start monetizing it immediately. 1, in your next paycheck, and 2, tomorrow night we're going to do this exact same call. So you can get in business tonight, tomorrow night have me working for you tomorrow. We have a recorded version of this. You can enroll tonight and start texting it to people right away. So bottom line is, you're going to write off the $27.95 After 30 days, it costs you $34.95 to keep your business open, to stay an online entrepreneur. Now, please don't ask the ridiculous question, why does it cost every month to keep my business open? All I do is say, reflect back to you opening up your gym. Does it cost you anything every month to keep your gym open? Reflect back to opening up your own real estate office. Does it cost you to keep that office open every single month? Does it cost you to keep your car lot open every single month? If you in a catering business, does it cost you to be in a caterer every single month? So don't ask ridiculous stuff like that. Have your mind open to winning in this capitalistic country called America. And just like my buddy Vic out of Alabama said, TC, in America, how you win is you get all you can all you get, and then you sit on your can. And once you kick your can, you pass your can on to your kinfolk. So we want to help you win, not just for you, but your babies. So I want to thank everyone for getting on the webinar. We value your time. We can never, ever give that back to you. So we hope we proved value for that time you spent with us. Get back with the person. They'll get you all signed up. And for those of you out there on Facebook, thank you again for your time as well. On the webinar, God bless, good night, and see you guys tomorrow. So again, thank you guys for sticking there with us on Facebook. Again, I won't be doing this Facebook Live every single day. You'll be able to watch the recording. But the person that might have forwarded this to you, they have access to all this information. They sent it to you because they thought that this information can help you in your personal finances. Bottom line, if you don't know if your W-4 is right, chances are you're one of those 100 million. Bottom line. And that's more dollars that you can have. If you've been working 10, 20, 30 years and there's not enough in your 401k, then you need to align with us so we can help you expedite getting to where you want to get to. So I want to thank you all, and thanks for sticking with us. Good night.